Hello, you are listening to the Jim Stroud podcast brought to you by my newsletters. The first newsletter being The Recruiting Life, which gives you clarity on what's happening now and next in the world of work. Also, Career Intelligence Weekly, which analyzes the news from a job seeker perspective. Check them both out on my website at newsletter.jimstroud.com. That's newsletter.jimstroud.com. Are there really jobs or just openings nobody plans to fill? Huh. There's a strange idea in quantum physics called entanglement. Two particles get linked, then they separate. One goes left, the other one goes right, miles apart, maybe light years apart. Yet they are still connected. Change one and the other reacts. Einstein did not like this idea. He called it spooky action at a distance, and I get it. Because when you first hear it, it sounds like magic wearing a lab coat. But then I look at the labor market and think, maybe Einstein just never had to search for a job in 2026. Because this job market is spooky. It's tangled. It's connected in ways that make no sense until you are standing inside it, refreshing your inbox, watching another "we'll keep your resume on file" message drift into the void. The official numbers say job openings are up, and that sounds good. That sounds like employers are hiring. That sounds like opportunity. Then you look a little bit closer. Openings are up, but hiring is down. Workers are not quitting. Employers are not firing at massive levels. Recruiters are busy, but a lot of them are stuck managing frozen requisitions, cautious hiring managers, and candidates who are tired of being strung along. So, what's the real story? Is the job market strong? Is it weak? Is it recovering? Is it broken? Yes. Yes to all of the above. And that's the problem. Everybody's touching a different part of the elephant and describing it correctly. The economist looked at the headline numbers and says, "Hey, this economy looks stable to me." The recruiter looks at the process and says, "No, these processes are clogged." The job seeker looks at the silence and says, "Feels like a brick wall." The CEO looks at the dashboard and says, "We have plenty of openings." The employee looks at the chaos and says, "I am not moving until this thing calms down." And the ugly part is, they may be all right. That is what makes this market so hard to explain. A job opening is not a hire. Let me say that again because because it matters. A job opening is not a hire. A job opening is a possibility, a signal, a wish, a budget line, a placeholder, a public performance. Sometimes it's a real need. Sometimes it's a role waiting on approval. Sometimes it's a ghost job. Ooh. Sometimes it's a manager fishing for unicorns while pretending to be urgent. A hire is different. A hire is money committed. A hire is a person chosen. A hire is a chair filled. A hire is payroll. A job opening is a promise written in pencil, but a hire is written in ink. And right now, we have too much pencil. That's why the market feels so strange. Is it just me? No, I think you feel it too. On paper, there are jobs. In practice, many candidates feel like they're walking through a maze built by people who do not want them to reach the center. They apply, they wait, they interview, they wait again, they get moved to the next round, then the role is paused. Then the hiring manager goes quiet. Then the recruiter says they are waiting on feedback. Then the company decides to go with an internal candidate. Then the jobs get reposted 2 weeks later with the same title and slightly different punctuation. That is not a hiring process. That is, I don't know, psychological torture. And job seekers are standing outside watching it all happen. Now, employers will say, "We are hiring. We are hiring. Look at all our job postings, right?" Yeah, that's what they'll say, and that's fine. That's fine. But job postings are not paychecks. Posting a job does not mean a company is ready to hire. It does not mean the budget is approved. It doesn't mean the manager knows what they want. It doesn't mean the salary matches the market. It doesn't mean the process is sane. Sometimes, sometimes a job posting is just, uh, sometimes a job posting is just corporate graffiti. Ooh, let me write that down. It says opportunity was here. Maybe. Maybe it was. Maybe not. For recruiters, this is maddening because they live in the gap between intention and action. They know which jobs are real. They know which managers are serious. They know which requisitions smell funny. They know when a company says urgent, but behaves like it has all the time in the world. Recruiters feel the drag before anyone else admits it. They feel the candidate who gets praised, then parked. They feel the interview panel that cannot agree. Say that again. They fear, maybe not feel, the interview panel that cannot agree. They feel the compensation package that was outdated before the job was posted. They feel the hiring manager who wants 10 years of experience, three impossible skills, industry knowledge, startup energy, enterprise discipline, emotional intelligence, and a salary from 2017. Then someone says, there is a talent shortage. Sometimes, yes, but sometimes that is not a talent shortage. Sometimes it's organizational indecision wearing a talent shortage costume. And let's talk about workers who already have jobs. A lot of them are not quitting. They can look like loyalty. Maybe some of it is. But some of it is fear. People are staying put because they do not trust the market. They don't trust the postings. They don't trust the interview process. They don't trust that if they jump, there will be a safe place to land, so they stay. Can't really blame them. They keep the job they do not love. They tolerate the boss they complain about. They sit through the meeting. They nod. They keep their LinkedIn open in another tab. They tell themselves, not yet. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is called low churn. Now, low churn can look healthy from a distance. It can look like retention. It can look like stability. But sometimes low churn is just fear of a benefits package. And that fear spreads. This is where entanglement comes in. One frozen decision touches another. An employer delays hiring. A recruiter cannot move a candidate forward. A candidate stays unemployed longer. Another worker decides not to quit. A manager sees fewer resignations and assumes morale is fine. A consumer feels less confident and delays a big purchase. A company sees softer demand and slows hiring again. Round and round and round it goes. Spooky action at a distance. The job market is not one clean machine. It's a tangled system of signals. Openings are tied to hires. Hires are tied to quits. Quits are tied to confidence. Confidence is tied to prices. Prices are tied to interest rates. Interest rates are tied to budgets. Budgets are tied to headcount. Headcount is tied to whether some person somewhere gets to keep paying rent. That is the part that gets lost in the commentary. A stalled requisition is not just an internal delay, it is a person waiting to know whether they can breathe again. A fake opening is not just bad process, it is false hope. A slow hiring process is not just inefficient, it changes how people trust the entire system. And trust is the real casualty here. Job seekers do not trust job postings. Recruiters do not trust hiring managers, not entirely. Hiring managers do not trust budgets. Executives do not trust forecasts. Employees do not trust the market. Everybody is waiting for somebody else to move first. That is not a boom, people. That is not a collapse. That is suspension. A market holding its breath. So, what do you do if you are a job seeker? Well, you stop worshiping job postings. You still apply, yes, but you stop treating every posting like proof that a real opportunity exists. You look for pressure, business pressure, new funding, new contracts, expansion, leadership changes, product launches, regulatory problems, customer demand, operational pain. Follow the urgency, people. Follow the money. Follow the mess. Because the real jobs are often hiding inside business problems that cannot wait. What do you do if you're a recruiter? Well, I think you qualify the job like you qualify the candidate. Is the budget real? Is the manager ready? Is the process clear? Is the salary sane? Is there urgency, real urgency? Or is it just theater? Because if the role is not real, you are not recruiting. You are escorting candidates into a haunted house. Now, what should, see another different perspective. What should employers do? Yeah. Well, employers, stop blaming the market for problems built inside your own walls. If you have openings but no hires, ask better questions. Are you moving fast enough? Are your requirements honest? Are you paying correctly? Are your managers trained to make decisions? Are you using AI to find talent or to reject people you never really looked at? Are you confusing activity with progress? Let me say that again. Are you confusing activity with progress? Because candidates are watching. A slow process teaches them something. It teaches them that you're unsure. It teaches them that the role may not be real. It teaches them to keep moving. The labor market is not dead. It is entangled. That may be worse because it means every frozen decision touches somebody else. A job opening appears in one spreadsheet. A candidate refreshes their inbox in another city. A manager hesitates. A recruiter waits. A CFO asks for another week. An employee decides not to quit. A family delays the move. And somehow, the entire system knows this. So when someone asks, are there really jobs or just openings nobody plans to fill? The honest answer is uncomfortable. Yes, there are jobs. Yes, there are openings. Yes, there is demand. There is hesitation. There is opportunity. There is fear. All of this is true at the same time. That is the market now. Not collapsed, not booming, entangled, suspended, and waiting for somebody to move first. You have been listening to the Jim Stroud Podcast, a proud member of the Purple Acorn Network. If you like what you heard, hate what you heard, or don't know what you just heard, I want to know about it. Email your questions and comments to podcast@jimstroud.com. That's podcast@jimstroud.com. Do it now. Operators are standing by. Well, that's it for now. I'll be back later, right here, with a brand new episode. So until then, bye bye.